Good evening. Welcome to History of the Promise, presented by He Promise Publications. We are doing episode 8 today, which is Genesis chapter 4. I'm going to be doing another episode, but you don't have to watch them back to back. I'm behind one day, and I don't like to be behind. I like to stay on target. So we're going to jump right into this. Genesis chapter 4 deals with the first murder of a man at his brother's hand. So Genesis 4 talks about the first murder to be committed on this planet by human hands, and the murderer killed his own brother. Okay, so let's get into this. The man, talking about Adam, had sexual relations with Havah, Eve, his wife. She became pregnant and gave birth to Cain, and said, "I have gotten a man with the Lord's help." Again, she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain's brother Abel. Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. As time passed, Cain brought an offering to the Lord from the fruit of the ground. Abel also brought some of the firstborn of his flock and of its fat. Adonai respected Abel and his offering, which was of the firstborn of his flock and the fat. Now, I'm going to step in again here instead of just reading it. Seems like I'm allowed. When I first read this, matter of fact, most of the times I read this until I understood the process. We don't get everything in every conversation that happened in the known Bible. We don't know what God talked to them about, what he said, every word he said, and what they were supposed to do. So, the offerings that the Lord asked for, even of Adam and Eve, it started with them and it went further in, was to offer the best of their firstborn of their flock and its fat. And you'll see more of this in Exodus, but I want to bring it to point. This is not a nothing thing. It isn't choose your own offering. So the elder brother Cain offered fruit and vegetables from his gardening, because he felt that his work and what he did was a good enough offering for the Lord, when the Lord specifically required a firstborn, because that is what he was going to offer to save them. So there's a reason for all this. And Cain, of course, offered the correct offering. Now, it's not like, Abel offered the firstborn of his flock. Now, it's not like Cain couldn't have gotten a firstborn from the flock to offer. He could have asked his brother, so he could create a correct offering. So there was no reason for him to not give the offering that was required of man at this time because of the fall. All right, so let's jump into verse 5. But he, meaning God, didn't accept Cain and his offering, and Cain was very angry, and the expression on his face fell. The Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why has the expression of your face fallen? If you do well, won't you be accepted? If you don't do well, sin crouches at the door." And this is in bold for the next part. Same verse 7. Sin desires to rule over you, but you are to rule over it. Verse 8. Cain said to Abel. Now, Cain is talking to his brother. And this is later. Let's go into the field. So basically, let's take a walk in the field. And I'm sure Abel didn't think much of it. And he said, so while they were in the field, Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and killed him. And this is just a straight jealousy move. You were accepted, I wasn't. You know how that can build. And it could take you to breaking a commandment. Okay? The Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel, your brother?" Now, it's not like the Lord didn't know where he was. He knew exactly where he was. But here we are, giving a chance again to repent. He ever gives chances to repent. So the Lord said to Cain, okay, where's Abel your brother? He said, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? And just like his parents, he set aside the chance to repent. The Lord said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries to me from the ground. Now you are cursed because of the ground which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. From now on, when you till the ground, it won't yield its strength to you. You will be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth. Behold, now this is Cain said to Adonai, "Why, my punishment is more than I can bear." Now, he didn't want to repent, but now he doesn't want to accept the punishment either. And, very rare do we want to accept the punishment. It's better to just tell on ourselves and get it over with. Behold, you have driven me out today from the surface of the ground. I will be hidden from your face. Now, this is the thing. They've still been seeing the Lord. But now, that's a wrap for Cain. I will be hidden from your face, and I will be a fugitive and a wanderer in the earth. Whoever finds me will kill me. Now he's afraid. He killed somebody, but he's afraid of getting killed. Adonai said to him, therefore, whoever slays Cain, vengeance, the page is trying to turn, will be taken on him sevenfold. The Lord appointed a sign for Cain, so that anyone finding him would not strike him. So Cain, after murdering his brother and lying about it, cries out for mercy. And what does the Lord do? Gives him mercy. He offers him mercy. Cain left the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain had sexual relations with his wife. She became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. He built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son. He called the city Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad. Irad became the father of, pray for me, people, so I can get through these names, Mahujael. Mahujael became the father of Methushael. Methushael became the father of Lamech. Lamech took 2 wives. The name of the first one was Ada. The name of the second was Zillah. Now, did we get 2 wives in the garden? I'm just going to stop right there. For those of you who've been with me here, just circle back. How many wives were in Eden? Okay. Ada gave birth to Yabal, who was the father of those who dwell in tents and have livestock. His brother's name was Ubal, who was the father of all who handle the harp and pipe. So we've got tent dwellers who raise livestock and some musicians. Zillah also gave birth to Tubal-Cain, the forager of every cutting instrument of bronze and iron. And Tubal-Cain's sister was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, you wives of Lamech. Listen to my speech, for I have slain a man for wounding me, a young man for bruising me. If Cain will be avenged 7 times, truly Lamech 77 times. Now here I go stopping again. The avenging of Cain, if he was to be hurt, came from the Lord, he who can avenge. Lamech decided to avenge himself. That doesn't ever go too well. All right, so we're going to flip back to Adam now. Verse 25. Adam had sexual relations with his wife again, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son, and named him Seth, saying, for El Shaddai has given me another child instead of Abel, for Cain killed him. A son was also born to Seth, and he named him Enosh. At that time, men began to call on the Lord's name. All right, looks like we're going into questions. First question, and remember, pause me and circle back, Google, do whatever you need to do. First question for Genesis chapter 4. What did Cain and Abel do for a living? What did Cain and Abel do for a living? All right. Next comment and question together. First mentioning of a sacrificial system set up by Yahweh that required a lamb is noted in this chapter. How do we know this? The first mentioning of a sacrificial system set up by Yahweh that required a lamb is noted in this chapter. How do we know this? What is Cain and we told we must rule over? What is Cain and we told we must rule over? After Cain kills his brother, does Yahweh give him a chance to confess? Or, I got repent in parentheses. Does Cain get a chance to confess his wrongs just like his parents did in the Garden of Eden? Next question. What happens when Cain and we doesn't repent? What happens to Cain when he does not repent? Did Yahweh still watch over Cain in some respect? Did Yahweh still watch over Cain in some respect? Last statement in question for chapter 4. Cain states, "My punishment is too much to bear." But note, he never says he is sorry or asks Yahweh to forgive him. What happens to Cain? What happens to Cain? Alrighty, guys, we're going to end with this. Really look back. Really working once, I'm hoping. See, I'm at the beginning right here. I'm actually just taping all these things. I'm going to drop them into the YouTube channel soon. And so my goal is to get all the questions down on the bottom to you guys and keep this nice and simple. Yeah, this was a quick one today. A lot of stuff going on, but there's some things in here for you to think about. So you don't need to sit with me for another 8 minutes. You can go into some study and some contemplation. You don't have to say a quick prayer. Just if you're wanting to understand, ask, Lord, help me understand. Am I hearing this correctly? Is this sister wrong? Did what you gave her, are you the one who gave her this? Is it right? Ask the questions. Sit back and wait for an answer. And I always tell people now, after all these years, it says it in the Word, of course, talk about a still, quiet voice. A still, quiet voice is the Spirit of God. That loud one that be telling you to do stuff you ain't got no business doing, that is not the Spirit. Just listen for that whisper and just focus on it. Try to clear your mind and, get this, all right? You guys have a good rest of your day or evening whenever you're doing this study. And talk to you soon. God bless you and keep you. Bye.